Okay, welcome to Mrs. Cohen's Pre-Algebra review for our quiz this week. And we're starting out with a word problem. So you do not have to write this word problem down because it's going to be on the film. So when you're ready, pause the video and work the problem. I'm going to read it for you. Note that I said 100 centimeters is 1 meter. A wooden plank placed 50 centimeters from an apartment building touches an apartment window 1.2 meters or 120 centimeters from the ground. What is the length of the plank? Pause the video, do the work. Remember to do it in an organized method. Good luck. Welcome back. I hope you got the right answer. Now I'm going to erase this, but first I'm going to draw a picture about it first. It's kind of confusing because sometimes students make mistakes about which one is the hypotenuse and which one is the base of the triangle. So we know, what can we definitely figure out here? That the window is 1.2 meters from the ground. So that's got to be the window. And then it wants to know the length of the plank. And the wooden plank is placed 50 centimeters from an apartment building. So this has got to be the 50 centimeters. And this is the plank. So we're going to use the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we can't work with meters and centimeters. They always have to have the same units. So it did tell us that 1.2 meters is 120 centimeters. So I'm going to say 120 squared plus 50 squared equals c squared. So 120 squared is 14,400 plus 2,500 equals c squared. Now I'm just doing my steps, but notice how I'm showing my work. In a vertical steps, organized. Okay? My next step is going to be 16,900 equals c squared. Now, I have to take, in order to find the c, the measurement of c, I have to take the square root of both sides. Now, normally when we take the square root of both sides, we have to get the positive and negative root. But we're talking about a measurement here, so we only want the positive root. It comes out as c equals 130 centimeters. Now, we don't talk like that in the real world, right? We don't say the plank is 130 centimeters. Now, I know I said 50 centimeters here, but that was kind of to try to throw you off. So we're going to convert this back to meters. When we convert it back to meters, what are we going to do? We're going to divide by 100. So we have 130 divided by 100, which means that it's c equals 1.3 meters, is the length of the plank. Okay. Review that. Make sure you understand that. Now we're going to move on. If I give you a figure, and I ask you to find the area and the perimeter of the figure, again, no matter how much something looks like a square, and I know this doesn't look like a square today, but sometimes it does, you can't assume it's a square. The only way that you know it's a square is if they show you those hash marks, and they're showing you single hash marks all the way around, and then you know it's a square. Or if they put x, 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 then you know it was a square. So we're going to say that this is 15, and that this is 12. And I want to know the area and the perimeter. So, pause the video, do the problem, then turn me back on and you'll get the solution. Good luck. Welcome back. I hope you got it all done. Again, I hope you showed all your steps and you showed your formula. Well, if you notice, hopefully, this is two right triangles. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We know that a is 12 squared. We don't know b squared. Now, you could say we didn't know a squared and plugged it into b squared. It doesn't matter. Remember, the legs are interchangeable, which is a and which is b. And we're going to put equals 15 squared. Now, this is 144 plus b squared, because 12 squared is 144. And then we get 225. I knew that. We're going to subtract 144 from both sides. and we're going to get b squared equals 81. Again, we're going to take the square root of both sides, and b equals 9. We take the positive root because we are looking at a measurement or a distance. So now we know the 9. That doesn't give us the answer. All we've done is solve for b. So to find the area, we have to say a times base times height. Yes, you must put the formula in. We say 9 times 12, and 9 times 12 is what? Remember? 18, 108. Now, I got a problem. I didn't give you any units. Yes, that's correct. Units squared. Now, the perimeter is going to be 2L plus 2W. We have to identify a formula, and we're all past that. We know we could use L times L plus W, or S plus S plus S plus S, but this is the more traditional way to show it. So we have 2 times 9 plus 2 times 12, 18 plus 24. So our perimeter is, see, 34, 44, 42 units is our perimeter. Got that? Great. All right, now let's do another one. These are all things that are going to be on the quiz. Okay. I do want to show you this one because we don't like working with fractions. If I say negative 4/5 is greater than or equal to negative 9/10 x. Okay, this is a one-step inequality. I have to isolate my x. So I look at the coefficient with the x. So I'm going to multiply both sides by what? Pause the video. See me in a second. All right, let's see how you did. When we multiply both sides, we have to take the reciprocal of the coefficient so that we can get a coefficient of positive 1. Because we need a coefficient of positive 1 with the variable, then we must multiply this by negative 10/9. What happens when we multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number? We flip the sign. So when this happens, this cancels and we're left with a positive 1 coefficient for x. The sign must flip. And then we're left over here. Now, you can simply say 10 times 4 is 40 and 40 45ths. Or you can do your canceling here, where 5 goes into 10 2, and that's going to give you the answer of 8/9. Okay, so we came out with x is greater than or equal to 8/9, or we can say 8/9 is less than or equal to x. But I'm going to rewrite it. Now when I graph this, I have a 0, I'll put a 1 here, 8/9 is about right here. And open or close circle. That's right, it's a closed circle in the 8/9. And x is greater than or equal to 8/9. So which way do we go? Where's the numbers that are greater? It's to the right. So we have a solid line to the right going this way. You need to know for the quiz, remember you have to be able to identify what's a rational and an irrational number. Remember that when you take the square root of any number, you have a positive and a negative root, unless you're talking about distance. And if you're solving an equation with a variable that has to the power of 2, that's not a distance if there's no figure. So you're going to have 2 roots as your answer when you take the square root of both sides. For instance, you have 90 equals d squared plus 9. Write that down. 90 equals d squared plus 9. Your final answer will be x is about plus or minus 2.4. So see if you get the same problem I did. Good luck, and I'll see you in class.